Today's video, we're going to talk about when you should look big, like a big company, and when you should look like a small little company to get the most results out of your ad campaigns you're running through Google, Facebook, or wherever you're running them. This sounds a little crazy, mainly because why would you ever want to seem like a small company? Well, there's plenty of times when you'd want to seem like a small company, and which will get you a lot more sales. The reason for that is because not everybody wants to deal with, as you know, going through a big bank or a small bank. To give you one analogy, when you call up the bank for support, does anybody want to go through a phone tree to get to somebody? When you call a big company, almost universally, the person you get on the phone, if you have a sales question, you're not going to get a niche expert that can help guide you through your purchase and make sure you're purchasing the right thing for your needs. Or if you're a big company and you have 10,000 reviews already, I have no leverage as an individual voice and customer when something does not go right to leave it a negative review, to get attention and to get what I deserve in terms of a refund or whatever, because obviously the big company's not going to care, and there's no one to talk to threaten a negative review that is actually going to care. There's a lot of reasons why consumers would like to deal with small companies nowadays, and where it's hard to kind of decide if you want to pretend like you're a small company to get that extra conversion rate of a higher percentage of people who get to your site and convert into a sale or a lead versus not, and when you want to seem like a big company in order to get that done, is figuring out which side of the fence you should be on. Should you be a big company? Should you be a small company? That is exactly what I'm going to cover here in today's video, specifically giving you examples where we got more out of our ad campaigns on Google looking like a small company, even though necessarily we weren't a small company, looking like a small company, sometimes we actually were, or looking like a big company when, naturally we're small and make ourselves look bigger, or just play off that we're big and bad and go that angle with it. This will make a tremendous difference in your results if you are on the wrong side of the fence here. We're talking, you could be making double what you're making right now if you simply, instead of looking like a big faceless nameless company, start looking like a smaller company where the business owner has pride in his work and really just wants to do the right thing for the customer. This is way more powerful than you think it is. At the very least, if you think you fit this mold of where this has worked for our other clients, you should go ahead and give it a shot, of which it's not as scary as it seems, because you don't have to change your whole website in order to get this done. You could send people to a landing page. Even if you're an e-commerce company, you could still use landing pages. Most people who do e-commerce don't think you can or should or need to. Well, many times you do. You can just test it out for yourself. Have a picture of your family on the page. Have a picture of you yourself as the owner on the page, and your bio and your background and whatnot, and just see what happens. Or vice versa, saying, taking all that crap off of it, or just saying you have 10 million customers or whatever the hell you need to say to seem like you're bigger than anybody else in the space, and see how it goes once you've done that. Using landing pages, if you're not right now, is one of the reasons why you're going to get so much more results using landing pages, because you can craft the perfect story for the user, whatever story that you want them to have. That you're a huge company, small company, you're a specialist in this exact thing, and you can just move it around and change it and see where you're going to get the optimal conversion rate on the clicks and not affect anything else you're doing on the main website. And when you're using a landing page tool like Unbounce, like we use at our agency, without having to need any programmers involved, and it's quick. You can drag something here, add one little section here, let's see what that does, just try it out. When you're running an ad campaign, you just simply have to set up a new ad pointing to the new version of your landing page with this picture of your family on it and just see what happens. Respectively, people know though inherently the reason why going the smaller company angle works often nowadays is because people that are going to run a scammy company won't put their face on the company. If you really believe in your work and you have pride in your work, you're willing to put yourself out there as the owner of the company. If you can't find who the owner of the company is, that's a very bad sign that that company doesn't have legit business practices. And I know that may piss some of you guys off that just heard this, but it is the reality. Why are you hiding? Where are you hiding from? Yes, maybe you don't want people to know you have money. But still, at the end of the day, overall, companies that do good work, people want to put their name on their work, not hide from it. So with that said, times where looking small has helped our firm get more results from an ad campaign that we're running for a client Starting with, I'll mention where we had a window installation company. A window installation, they usually sell the window hardware and the installation service in one package. We actually had, in that situation, we had the owner create a who we are and why we do what we do video for the landing page, increase the conversion significantly. Now that doesn't make us look all in all like a tiny company, but adding that little personal touch there increased the conversion rates double digits just doing that one simple thing. Again, because people inherently know, even though they're not consciously thinking it, this owner looks like a good guy and he looks like he has passion for what he does. If I'm going to do business with somebody, I want to do business with somebody who has some passion, I'm going to go with this guy. And that's, obviously not, I don't have any data to back that up, but, I understand how people think. So there's one example of what you can do and how, what type of niche where this go in this general looking smaller route actually makes you more money. We did something similar in the HVAC space. HVAC, we had a picture of the dude's family, wife, kids, all there standing in front of a vehicle with the wrap on it, proving it's obviously that family is really tied to this company and not bullshitted and not photoshopped, if you will, or still technically, I guess you could say be photoshopped, but it looked real. And this also significantly increased conversions. This actually, by the way, works really good when you're trying to sell to somebody who, wants a little bit of a deal, because if you deal with a smaller company, they have less overhead, you can offer a little bit better pricing. When you have the picture of the family, it shows you're going to get a good price and still a good quality service, and it really appeals to a lot of people. They were doing AC installation specifically, and that was the type of jobs we were going for in that particular case. We had that added to the page and it did very, very well. We were closer to double the conversion rate when we added that content to the landing page, where before it was nameless, faceless company across the website and so forth. Just that one little change is all it took. Next in line, stair installation. Or stair lift is what I meant to say specifically. Elderly people, they can't get upstairs. You can get a stair lift elevator installed in your house for a few grand. I had a company who did this. But in this case, what you can also do going the smaller angle is you can not only just say on your landing pages that you're a smaller company, but also on your ad. Go direct. Deal directly with the owner. And then furthermore on the landing page, following that up, because anything on your ad should be on your landing page, so people, there's no perceived disconnect or potential disconnect for the user there. Go direct, get a quote from the owner. Owner has X number of years of experience working with seniors and their health issues as a physical therapist, so on and so forth. That increased conversions, again, significantly. Double digits, closer to the 2x side of things, just by going this general route with it. Give you more results, obviously, if all the other players in the market are big, nameless, faceless companies. I will admit, there's certain people that are still going to want the huge company. There's a lot of people who are going to not want that. So you just own the part of the market that wants the smaller company. And by telling them right up front on the ad, you're basically flagging those people down who that have the propensity to want a smaller company. You reinforce it to them on the landing page, and then you end up getting more leads than you should, if you will. And obviously this wouldn't necessarily work if you were a big company and you just had Joe Blow going out and doing your quotes or whatnot. You really would have to walk the walk, talk the talk. But if you are in that position, you don't have the advantage of being the huge company, but you can deal, you're small enough where you're still doing the quotes yourself as the owner. I highly recommend you at least test owning it, saying you have 15 years of stair lift experience and you're going to be able to talk to me, the expert, on the perfect solution. Because there's just so much value in the market out there, and very few niches have it, of having a true product expert or a true service expert to guide you on what to buy. And they can go through and ask you questions about your situation. What do you like? What do you need? And tell you honestly what variety of product you actually legitimately need, versus the salesperson, which is going to ram whatever is most profitable down your throat. And people know that. So you got that. Then we also did this in the accountancy space. What works the best is putting yourself out there as the accountant right there front and center. If you're an accountant, you should also, if you put some language in your ad that, this is my accountancy, because a lot of times people just want to deal with the CPA directly. They don't want to work with a huge firm. A business may be apt to want to work with a huge firm, but not an individual or sole proprietor or something like that, or small business owner. Depends on obviously who your market is. But what we found is specifically having the very first part of the landing page has, a big, what they call the hero image, the accountant, and it helps obviously if it looks like a friendly person. And then below on the landing page, another picture of that person sitting at the desk, and then talking about my experience as a CPA. If you find me a landing page that'll do better than going that angle with it, then I'll admit that I was wrong. But there's certainly no other better way to do it, because if you think about it, you're going to go hire a CPA. What's the first thing you're going to want to know? What do they look like? What's their experience? And going there and just saying tax service and having like a stock image of a tax paper that says tax audit or whatever on it, that's dumb. That says, I don't even know who I'm dealing with. Am I dealing with the company that's selling my leads? Am I dealing with somebody who is in another country? It's literally just, you don't have any clue who you're dealing with. Not to mention, by the way, a lot of people are racist and they're prejudiced about who they want to work with. And so if they cannot see a picture of who they're working with, they will not even respond, which is the other reason why that works. You're in professional services, you want to strongly consider putting yourself out there first and have the business name include on top of that, if you want to do yourself a huge favor, your name. In the legal space, they do this all the time. Johnson, but outside of that, other professional services, they don't do that. Again, because it shows that you're willing to put yourself out there. Because it's hard to set up a website real quick. Because this is what happens all the time in the marketing services space. All the marketing firms are like Orange Soda SEO or Big Spring PPC services. That says nothing. How easy is it to rack up a bunch of bad reviews with that name? And then just go start up a new LLC with another dumb name like that. People know this. Versus, if you go to our website, what do I do on the first part of my website? Put a picture of myself right there and my name, senior strategist. Even if you have multiple people working there, doesn't matter. Put the leading strategist on the page. Show people that you're actually not going to just, run off the minute that things go wrong, and it would be hard for you to do that. So anything in the professional services space, but not only just that, if you're, detailing cars, whatever, put yourself on that landing page. I promise you, you'll almost always get a better conversion rate. Anything like that. So, and with that, you can put photos and video of yourself, the owner or the key strategist. If you're in a space that requires technical expertise, I would make it the key strategist, not the owner. Or it could be both the owner and the key strategist, depending on the situation. Like if you were in some specialized area of law, then I would want to have that lawyer who specializes in that area of law, and then information about the other lawyers in the firm and what their background is, and get the most results, because that's going to give you the most trust. It's all about trust. When people are deciding if they're going to buy from you or turn into a lead, it's, can you do what I need? That is, fix my problem. Do you cover my area, if that applies, which generally always does in some regard, and can I trust you? Obviously, if you can afford, can I afford it as well? But anybody can afford anything if it has enough value. So that's really not even a factor up front, and especially when you're doing lead generation. The biggest thing that you can affect, and the hardest thing to affect, is how much you're trusted. The best way to get trusted is just being more transparent. Of course, if you have, you're running your business out of your house, and you're a guy who's 85 years old, you may not want to be so transparent per se, because it might turn some people off. When you can be transparent and it's not going to throw off alarm bells because, that's the reality of your situation, then you own it, use it to make you more money. Whereas the competition won't do it. You're the most transparent, you'll be the most trusted. And then I mentioned about putting on there on your ads even, and on your landing page, deal directly with the owner, 15 plus year dog bite experience, assuming that they're interested in a dog bite lawyer, whatever. You get the general idea. And then go direct. I've heard people that I've worked with, even at our firm, at our PPC firm, mention that he describes it as going direct. You can hire a big firm, or you can go direct and hire a small consultancy that has the owner who's the key strategist and the owner of the firm, and that being the better way to go, because you're getting the person who actually knows what they're doing. It's not being farmed out to like some 2-year junior at the firm, if you will, and you're better off that way. You go direct. You go directly to the person versus having an account manager middleman person who takes all the information and then passes it on to do the person who's actually doing the work. And then because that person doing the work doesn't talk to the customer, there's information that gets lost in translation. Going direct is the best way that I've heard it described. Go direct to your car detailer. Don't hire from, go direct to your expert. Go direct to your doctor. It's a small clinic. You get to deal with the doctor that has all the experience, not the big medical clinic. Okay, so on the other side of things, looking huge. There's some instances where looking small is the total wrong thing to do. One example niche that was the case was the cash for gold space. So if you're businesses that buy gold, like sell your gold, whatever. In that space, you don't want to damn well look small. People don't want to know that if you send their gold into them, that they're going to get their money back, and they're not going to get lowballed or screwed over, because the idea is if it's the smaller the business, the more likely they are to screw them over, because you could easily, there's not a lot of brand equity on the line in that case. So that's a perfect example of where you want to look as big as possible, which when you do that, you can say how much business you do. We've been in business since 2004. We've helped over 10,000 customers. There's several ways that you can look big like that, or won the XYZ award 3 out of the 5 last years, or Inc. 5,000 or Inc. 500 and whatnot there. Different ways to do that. I gave you some examples there of how you can do that. Unlike what I said before, where you can put the owner's name and the business name, you don't want to do that in this case. You want to sound like a generic company. Cash for Gold USA, Cash for Gold Us. And not only that, but saying USA can make you seem bigger than what you are. One of the other things that can make you look bigger than you are when you're not big is, instead of showing your rinky-dink little office, you can show the outside of the office and rent yourself an office in a shared office in a huge office building, and then show the outside of the skyscraper. And then people will they'll assume that you own that whole skyscraper. We do that all the time. So that's some different ways that you puff yourself up like a big puffer fish and make yourself look bigger than you are to get higher conversion rates. You can do in the product design space, or if you want a product designed by a product design team, you want to seem big, as what we found already. You don't want to be dealing with some guy working out of his bedroom or whatnot. You want to be dealing with at least a certain size firm, so you know what you're going to get. There's a lot of expertise not built within it, and you're not going to get a flawed product when you're done. Plumbing. So to give you a contrast here, HVAC and window installation, smaller, not looking small, but looking where we added a personal touch to what we were doing, helped increase conversions. In the plumbing space, it wasn't that. Nobody wants to see Joe the plumber advertising his plumbing service. They want to see a big national or regional plumbing service to come out to their door, so they know they're not going to get some weird random Joe person coming to their house for at 2 a.m. when they have a broken toilet. So if you're trying to look huge, stay away from the individual photos of the owner, talking about the owner, talking about, individual employee. It's about a group of people. And one of my favorite ways to look big too is to get all the staff in a staff group shot. Even better yet, if you're in the right niche, line up all your equipment and then have your staff line up directly in front of them, and all your trucks / vans in front of them. And then do a drone shot where it's a downward shot on all of that. That shows literally how big you are just from that shot. If you can, obviously, if you have all that, then use it, basically, like I was talking about before. So it's another way to, puff yourself up, make yourself look big, or just show off that you're big and actually use what you got. I could go into some other ways to look bigger than you are, if you will, but those are the main ones. Those are our main go-tos. So what I encourage you to do, like I said, is if you're not using a landing page tool and doing testing, start doing that. If you don't know anything on your landing page to make it better, go one way or the other way. Go to one extreme or the other. And you may be surprised how much your conversion rates go up when you do that. If you have any questions about this or want to know how this applies to your specific situation, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, typically within 24 hours time. And also, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, you absolutely should, as the information I'm sharing with you on this channel comes from somebody who spends 40 hours a week doing ad testing and strategy for dozens of different clients and ad accounts that I'm personally responsible for. to give you the real, keyword being real, working information on how to make millions of dollars running ads on Facebook, Google, and so on and so forth. Most of the information you're going to find online about how to run ads is coming from people who don't really run ads and are pretending or run a couple ads. You need to run dozens of ad accounts at any given time to know what's going on, given it's changing all the time, and there's just certain things that work, it doesn't work in other situations. You need to get information straight from the source on someone like myself to really get quality information. So you should subscribe if you haven't already. Furthermore, you can find my written content on my blog at guaranteedppc.com/blog. The strategies that I use to guarantee results for our clients that are advertising firm are all there, practically speaking, with step-by-step instructions, with screenshots to go along with it. If you want to know what strategies you can use today to bolt on to your business via your Facebook ads account, your Google ad account, and so forth, check that out as well. If you're looking for somebody now or in the future to just do all the work for you on your ads to get you the results or get you to where you're trying to go in terms of sales targets and so forth, reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. I'm more than happy to give you a free audit, look over what you have. We're the only firm out there that offers a guarantee to our clients. That is, we'll promise, if we're going to work together officially, to get you a certain lift in your sales results and profits before we take a fee. That is, if you're spending $1,000 a day now and you're making $5,000, we'll take that $1,000 and get it to $10 before we take our fee, or something like that. There's no catch other than we got to know we can get the results before we work on your stuff. But the only way you would know if we can do that for you is if you simply reach out and take us up on our free audit that we offer all our new prospective clients coming in the door. As a side, if you're looking to get and shortcut your way to success, you don't want to hire an ad agency like ours, you could and should take us up on our offer of selling you our ad templates. If we worked in a space that you're in, you've already figured out how to make an ad profitable and scale an ad on Google, on Facebook, you can take the winning version of the ads, landing pages, all of it, buy it from us outright and just use it in your own ad accounts and get the same results we were getting. We've got people using these templates to just start other niche lead selling businesses because we can generate leads at a cheap cost, and they just want to be in business to sell leads. We've got several people that have done that just starting with our templates. The template's already proven to generate leads at a certain cost, and then they had a turnkey business essentially. We've had people that started e-commerce businesses selling products that sell well in country A for our client and want to sell in country B. They're never going to compete with each other because that client's never going to be in country B. And you have a turnkey business selling products as well. So anyway, if you're interested in any of those other opportunities, you can also reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. With that said, I'll wrap everything up with that. Thank you very much for watching as usual, and I'll see you on the next one.